a nice crowd here at the Seminole Lanes as the National Team Challenge continues from this beautiful area of the country here along Florida's Gulf Coast. This is Todd Minotti starting it off for THERMOCARBON. Todd is 26 years of age. He's the youngest member of the THERMOCARBON team. Manufacturer's rep. They qualified with a 2:04.5. And a nice job there as he picks up the 310. Starting it off for the KEGEL Bowling Center of Sebring, Florida, Mark Augustyniak, 33-year-old pro shop owner. Up a little short, Earl.
A little short. What we have for lane condition, Jay, is 32 feet of oil, and this is a freshly dressed pair. So before the bowlers started their practice, maybe 45 minutes ago, no one had bowled on this pair all day, and the oil will tend to carry down a little bit, and as it does, it'll change the ball reaction on the back end in the pin deck area.
And he converts the 1-2-4-8.
So as they get started, it'll take them a little while really to get lined up to the pocket, but once they do, I think we can expect some pretty good scoring, Jay.
Lenny Biondi, 41 years old. Lenny, the oldest member of the THERMOCARBON team, the left-hander, and he has left the 7-pin.
Spare shooting has been a little difficult for the right-handers crossing the lane, going to any spare on the left side of the lane, left-handers crossing the other way. The corner pins for the left-hander, for example, here the 7-pin, shouldn't be that difficult. He's going across the middle lane, the ball should fall back into the pin.
Ooh, a close call there for the THERMOCARBON team.
And this is all ball speed. He didn't have quite enough speed, and you know, this is nervousness. You see the ball grip the lane, start to hook away, and that's because the back ends are still hooking. Until that oil carries down, that's what's going to happen.
This is David Spoor, and David has a problem.
Well, that's television nerves, I think, a little bit, Jay. This young man really hooks the ball, as several of the players do today in the finals. They throw the big hook, and if it gets off your hand a little early, which that one did, you can see he's wiping the sweat off his hand. Now watch the ball come off his hand just a little bit earlier than he wanted it to. And when that happens, he doesn't really have a chance to get the good lift. See the ball come off at the bottom of the swing instead of out in front of him.
David, a sales executive, 22 years of age, and that one got there a little bit better, but he's got to be shaken a little bit. This is Doug Becker.
And again, just to familiarize everyone with a little bit more with the format, this is a 2-game total pin match. So even though they're off to a poor start, the KEGEL team at this point, they do have 2 full games to bowl. So there's room to get back in the match.
Another left-hander and another 7-pin. Becker's 27 years old, a bowling center employee, and he has 2 regional PBA titles to his credit, so he's got some solid experience.
All 3 teams are very experienced. The unique thing about this particular team is they bowl together in league. They bowl together as a team all the time. So when you have that going for you, you understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and you can help each other on the lanes. Adjusting to the changes in the lane conditions makes a big difference. That's an advantage.
The American Bowling Congress, producing this series, place more emphasis on team competition, which of course has been the cornerstone of league bowling since 1895. Tony Juliano, 28-year-old furniture manufacturer, and a lot of lift and loft here, and he's got problems for KEGEL Bowling Center right now.
Very unique style here, Jay. He almost sidearms the ball. He looks kind of like a guy that's making the double play in baseball. The second baseman, when he throws it to first on the double play, comes from the side. Now watch his arm swing. He steps away from the shot, pulls the ball in from the side. See how he does that? And he gets tremendous lift and rotation on the ball, but it's very difficult to be consistent as far as hitting your target.
Left the 4-6-7 and gets the 4-6 or the 6-7, and they are open again. This is Brad Briggs. Briggs, the manager of the Don Carter Lanes down in West Palm Beach. And he gets them all.
Left-handers are bowling well, Jay, so far. They've had 3 shots in the pocket, 2 7-pins, and then the trip 6 there.
Next up, Ted Thompson, 31-year-old bowling manufacturing rep. 4 regional PB titles to his credit over the years, and a Brooklyn hit. And he has left the 5-10. 46 teams competing here this week, the largest amount of teams so far in the National Team Challenge. We have a full field coming up in Fort Worth, 64 teams next month.
And it's getting to the point, Jay, it's such a popular event around the country that it's getting to the point where it's hard to get in these events. So you can see what's going to happen as we get closer and closer to the championship in Reno. We're going to have more and more players wanting to get in, and if they don't get in early, they're going to get shut out. So if you're thinking about bowling, get it in there now.
Dennis Raukauskas, self-employed, 29 years of age, the anchor man.
Dennis bowled on the tour for a little while. He's a very experienced player. Now here's a guy that bowled on the tour, the PBA tour, the national tour for a number of years, Norm Devincent, and he changed his style a year and a half ago, and we'll give you a good look at that. You see his thumb is not in the ball, uses only the 2 fingers, and I asked him why he made this change. And Storm's answer was, well, it created more area on the lane for me. I get a lot more revolutions, and I carry more solid, more 10 pins than I used to, and it's made a big difference in my ability to score in tournament play. So that's the reason he's done that. And then you see there he puts his thumb in the ball for the spares. He's more accurate that way.
We'll return with more of the National Team Challenge from the Seminole Lanes in St. Petersburg right after this.